So this is the Hohem 3-axis gimbal stabilizer for smartphones. And one thing you can see from the start is that it can fold up, which makes it a little bit more portable than some of their larger gimbal stabilizers that are more for like a GoPro. Now I don't know how handy that is because you still have to unlock this and it takes time to do that, but it is something that helps. Also, overall, you'll see that it's smaller than some of their other gimbals. Now, to unlock this, it comes with everything kind of locked in and not able to move. So to lock this, you just have to rotate it a bit and it clicks past a point to where it's locked. And then from there, you just extend it, put it into position, tighten this screw, and then you're ready to go. Also make sure that you unlock these locks here. You just rotate them and they'll click and unlock. So in theory, that keeps it from getting damaged while in transit. Now, so the foldability is good, which makes it more mobile, but one real problem I had with this Hohem stabilizer is that you cannot even use it without downloading their app, connecting to the stabilizer, and then registering it. So you have to put in your email address and a few other pieces of information. And that's not a very, I don't like that because God only knows what they're doing with that information. But that's another thing to keep in mind. It literally will not work at all or move without that activation. So long term, who knows how useful it's going to be if maybe it unregisters itself and their servers are down in the future. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. Another great thing about this is that it has a screw-in mount. So you can mount it to something like a tripod or anything else you have that fits that. Now, it is rechargeable. It charges with USB-C, so that's nice. And let's see how it looks when you put the smartphone on it. So it also comes with this tripod base. This is very handy. I enjoy this. So you just screw this on into the screw-on mount hole. Then it'll stand up. I'm going to take my other iPhone and put it into here. Okay, and you have to keep the phone camera going to the left, as well as the buttons. One other problem here is if you notice these are the volume buttons for the iPhone, those can almost get in the way if you're not careful. Now it's ready to go, and I'm going to press the power button to turn it on. As you can see, it's on, it's stabilizing, and by pressing the power button twice, again, you can actually flip the rotation of the phone. No, it's once. You press it once, and then you can flip the rotation of the phone, which is nice. You also have different settings for the type of panning and adjusting that you can do, which is great. And then, of course, with this directional button here, you can rotate the phone while you're recording. Now let's talk about how well it works. I'm going to do 2 videos next. One with me just holding the iPhone and recording, and then one using this. But first, let me say that it does help. It does make your videos a lot more stable, but it doesn't help as much as I expected. You still have to keep your hand quite steady, and it will not adjust for all movement that you do. But next, let's take a look at these videos, and you can kind of see how well it stabilizes versus just using the iPhone with your hand. Okay, so here is the same video. One is on the left is with the gimbal, and the one on the right on your screen is without the gimbal. Now keep in mind, I'm holding my hand pretty stable, and the gimbal attachment, the handle, does make it easier to do so. So now let's pan to the left. Great. Let's go back to the right. Okay, so that should give you an idea of how much more stable it makes it. Okay, and now finally I just want to show you that The gimbal doesn't solve all motion, basically. So when you're going downstairs, or just even if you move your hand too much, it's not going to adjust for all motion, but it does a pretty good job. Now let me go back up. So finally, how would I rate this? Well, after thinking about it and using it for several weeks now, I'm going to give it an overall rating of 4 out of 5 stars. I think it loses 1 star simply because of the fact that you have to register it in the app before you even can use it. I do not like that feature, and a lot of other people do not either. And then overall, I think it's a fantastic entry-level gimbal. Now, I'm not an expert on gimbals, but for the price, you can find it anywhere from, it's never more expensive than $100 that I've seen, and recently you can get it from $60 to $80. So I think for a price, it's a good entry-level gimbal that allows you to use your smartphone instead of something like a GoPro, and to make the video as smooth as possible with an entry-level gimbal like this. So yes, 4 out of 5 stars.